This conference will now be recorded.
This PRPC has started in 1983 by Alan Trefler. Okay, so he is the founder of the PRPC. Okay. So it is used across all the domains. So this PRPC used in all the domains like healthcare, communication, banking, finance, insurance, and government. So you know, right? So each and every industry we call it as a domain. Okay, so this PRPC can be used to implement any application in any industry or in any domain. Okay, so in the healthcare also we can use like, so for the hospitals we can use, okay, in the communication we can use, so any customer service representatives or its customer service applications, if you want to implement also you can use it. And you can also use in the banking. So means for the ICICI Bank, like okay, HDFC Bank, it's having, right? So for these banks also we can implement the application through PRPC. So in the same way, finance, insurance, and government. So in any sector, okay, in any industry, we can use this PRPC to implement the application. Okay. So this can be used at both development and runtime environment. So the PRPC can be used in both development and runtime environment. So development means the person who is implementing the application. Otherwise, the person who is developing the application is called a development environment. And the runtime environment means the people who is accessing the application after completion of the application development. Okay, so that means if you take any bank, so in the banks the customers will be the end users. Okay, so that is also called a runtime environment where the end users are going to be accessing the application. So as a customer, I can log in into the application, and after logging into the application, I can even do any of the transaction like address change request, address checkbook request. Otherwise, even if you want to transfer the money from one application to another application, sorry, one user to another user, then also we can use this PRPC. Okay, so not only the customer, so even we can also say that the bank employees who is accessing the application are also called the runtime environment users. Otherwise, they are called the end users. So why they are called end users means they are also just accessing the application, and they are accessing the application on behalf of the customers. So directly, if you go to the bank and if you made any address change request, so on behalf of us, they are going to be doing the changes, right? So that is the reason why they are also the end users. So likewise, this PRPC can act, okay, can be used for both development and runtime environment. And it can be used to build business process management and business rules engine applications. So if you, so we will be using this PRPC for both business process management and business rules engine application. So first of all, you should know what you mean by BPM and what you mean by business rules engine. Then only you can know that, okay, so this can be used for both the purposes. So what do you mean by BPM? So here the BPM means process flow, data, business rules, and then user interface. So these four together, you can call it as a BPM. Okay, so what do you mean by process flow? So process flow means when you implement an application for any of the organization, okay, so we will be deciding one flow. Okay, that means there are some sequence of the steps will be there by which we will be identifying, okay, so it is going to be starting at this place and later it is going to be ending at this place. In between the starting and ending, so we will be having some steps we will be performing. So what are those steps? So complete this, all these together, it is called a flow. So the process through which a unit of work moves until it is resolved. So that means if you take leave application, So we are going to be logging into the portal, and as a employee, after logging into the portal, I'm going to be raising the request. So after you raise the request, it is going to be sending for the manager approval. So the manager may either approve, otherwise reject. But whatever it is, he will be performing some action either by approving, otherwise by rejecting. So once he approves, okay, then you will be going on leave, and then it is going to be resolving the case. And if he rejected, then also it is going to be closing the application. Okay, this is going to be closing the process. So like that. So any task will be having from start to end, either by resolving, otherwise rejecting. So this is complete steps are called the flow. So example, vacation request must be approved by the management and human resources before it can be granted. Okay, so that is one flow. And a request for an insurance quote must to pass through a series of automated and potentially manual steps before being presented to the customer. Okay, so like that also, even if you take any insurance quote also, it will be having some series of steps are which will be automated and potentially manual steps. So there are few steps which will be automatically processed, and there are few steps which needs to have the manual intervention. So, but at the end, it is going to be resolving with some status, either approved, otherwise rejected. So this is called a process flow. So after the process flow, it will be having some data. So data means what? The any information which you are going to enter into the application is called the data. Like as a customer, okay, I'll be entering the customer details. And as an employee, you need to maintain the employee details, employee number, name, address, state, city, and all these things. Along with that, okay, for the employees, if you want to pay the salaries, so the salary information will be there. Okay, so likewise, all the information will be there. And in case if you take any e-commerce portal, in the e-commerce portal, all the product details will be showing it to the user. So that is also one data. And if you take the supermarket, in the supermarket also, all the product details which are available in the supermarket will be displaying. So that is called the data. So BPM means process flow plus data plus business rules plus user interface. So what is mean by user interface? So user interface means by which the user going to be interacting with the application. Okay. So the first screen, okay, after it is going to be asking to sign up, otherwise sign in. So if you are the new user, it is asking to sign up. And if you are an existing user, it is asking to sign in. Okay. So when you select the sign up, it is going to display one more user interface screen. So in that you are providing all your details. Okay. After providing all your details, then it is going to be sign up is success. And later what you need to do, you need to sign in into the application. So once you sign in into the application, you will be giving the username and password, and then it is going to be validating. So by validating whether you are the valid user, otherwise you are the invalid user. So if you give the wrong information, it is going to be displaying the one more user interface screen by which it is saying that invalid credentials. So like that, after logging into the portal, okay, then you can make the transactions. So if you are the bank customer, then it will be displaying your current amount in your account, whether it is a savings account, otherwise current account. Okay, after opening the account details, then you can transfer the money from one user to another user. So you will be making add customer, and again after adding the customer, then you can transfer the money to another user. So like that. So the fourth one is the business rules. So what do you mean by business rules? So business rules means there are some validations which you will be performing on your application. Okay, so what are the validations? So as I said, if you are creating a new account into the bank, so it will take that you should have minimum 18 years of age. Okay, so if you are 18 years or above, then only we can create the account. Otherwise, what it will happen? It will ask you to create the minor account. So if you are the minor account, you should have the nominee. So here to open the nominee account, to open the minor account, nominee is the mandatory. Otherwise, if you are the actual customer who is the age, whose age is greater than 18, then that is also one condition. So like that, various conditions we will be performing, okay, through these business rules. So like that, BPM means process flow, data, business rules plus user interface. So what is this BRE? Okay, so business rules engine, which will maintain these business rules. Okay, business rules engine, which will maintain business rules. So all the business rules we will be maintaining through the BRE. So the external application calls into the rules engine to execute a specific rule. Okay, that is set of rules. Okay, so external applications calls into the rules engine to execute the specific rules. Actually, the main history of the PRPC, if you take that, this Pega PRPC has been started for implementing the business rules only, pure business rules. Okay, in the older days, so the PRPC is mainly started to implement the business rules. Okay, so why they are started like that? Can anyone tell me what is the client server architecture? Anyone? What is the client server architecture? Okay, so here, if you see my paintbrush screen, I have three circles. So one is called client and another one is called server. So in the older days, what it's happened is it's having single tier architecture. Okay, in the single tier architecture, all the client and server details are maintaining in one system only. Okay, so all the clients and servers are having in the same system. Okay, so one server is there and one in the same system we have the client also. That means where the application is developed, there only we can use by the that can be used by the end user. Okay, so that means only one person can access at a time. Okay, only one person can access at a time. So this can be suitable for the supermarkets kind of the thing. Why? Because only the person who is billing, that person is going to be accessing. In that only we are going to be developing the application and we are deploying the application. So both client and server will be on the same system. But later what happened? So to give the access to the multiple users, what we have done, we have used client server architecture. That means the server will be in one location and then the client will be in another location. And even while implementing this application, what it happens, so we are writing multiple conditions over there. Okay, in the client server architecture, when we are implementing the application, we are having n number of the conditions. So again, if you take the same supermarket, okay, so we will be having the n number of the conditions. Okay, we are doing the multiple calculations also. So we are buying two soaps and each soap is 10 rupees. So 10 into 2, 20 rupees. Okay, and later I'm maintaining the inventory in my supermarket. So inventory means what? So when the soaps are coming to, okay, initially when I loading with 100 soaps. Okay, after selling the soaps, whenever the quantity reaches to the 10 soaps in my supermarket, so I'm going to giving the message to the users saying that, okay, so it is the soaps are about to finish. So put the order again. So those conditions, okay, we can say business rules. As I said that business rules means any conditions which will be applying to the application. So server, client, and again business rules. Okay, so everything will be in one system. And later what happens, server and business rules in one system, and later client system is in the different place, different one. Okay, so later what happened? This PRPC is mainly started to implement the business rules. So that means all the validations, otherwise all the conditions which you wanted to apply. So those things, okay, these business rules will be used in Pega PRPC. Okay, so like that, these business rules are implemented in this. Then from the server, it is coming to the business rules, and after validating the business rules, then it will give it to the client. So in the multi-tier architecture, so it is divided into like that. Okay, in a single tier architecture, so even everything, both server, client, and again business rules. So and again later two-tier architecture, and then three-tier architecture, otherwise multi-tier architecture. So here the business rules we are implementing through PRPC. Okay, so and how we can implement this client server architecture? Okay, so is there any other languages by which we will be implementing? Means yes, there are n number of things are there. So this client server architecture we used to implement this complete application we used to implement by using many other languages. So initially we have C and C++. Okay, later Java, .NET, and then COBOL like that. So in the older days we used to have like this, and later now, okay, what happened, you know? So instead of implementing the application by using C++, Java or .NET or COBOL, okay, the PRPC what they have done is they given the opportunity to the developers, to the organizations to implement the complete application through PRPC itself. So you need not go to implement, go to any other technology. And again, okay, so you need not develop the business rules in PRPC, and you need not develop the user interface in .NET or Java. Okay, so like this. So instead of that, all the features it has given to the users to implement through PRPC only. Okay, so that is the reason why we need not go for the any other language to learn. So everything we can learn through PRPC, and we can implement everything through the PRPC itself along with the business rules. So business rules are like abstractions of the policies and practices of a business organization. Okay, they are the abstractions of the policies and practices of a business organization. As I said that, okay, the policy is also called, we can say it as a validations. Okay, otherwise the conditions. So to open the account, 18 years age must be there. Otherwise, for the minor account, the one nominee should be there. Okay, and we can create an unambiguous statement of what a business does and what the decision making policies. So based on those conditions, we can take the decision making by using all these validation. So to apply the leave request, okay, once if you apply the leave request, the decision can be taken, okay, based on the availability of the other employees. So either the manager can approve, otherwise he can reject it. The formal specification becomes information which is used in running the process and rules engine. So here the formal specification becomes information which is used in running the process and rules engine. Okay, so to run the process and rules engine, so we will be performing some formal specification or some information. These business rules can be anything that the organization uses to make an operational decision. They might include enterprise or divisional or corporate and line of business policies, as well as calculations and formulas, risk thresholds, and regulatory authorities. So as I have taken very small example for the bank account to open, the age should be this much. Sometimes the conditions can be taken across the organization level, or else across the division level, otherwise across the unit level. So what I mean by across the organization or else across the division, across the unit means, for example, if you take ICICI Bank, otherwise if you take Citibank, otherwise if you take HDFC Bank, so this bank is available across the globe. Okay, so in the world, so this bank is available across all the countries. So that is the organization level. But some of the conditions will be changed based on the country level. So on the organization, we can say that, okay, division is called a one country, and across the unit, even in the country also, sometimes we may need to apply some conditions based on the state level. Okay, so that is called, we can take it as a unit level. So likewise, some conditions we will be applying throughout the globe, and some conditions we will be applying throughout the country, and some conditions we will be applying throughout the state level. Otherwise, sometimes even branch wise also some condition would be changed. Okay, so like minimum balance should be maintained in the savings account. So that will be changed in India and that will be different in US. So in US, okay, the minimum balance should be $5,000. Okay, in India, the minimum balance should be around just 10,000 rupees based on the account type again. So likewise, this will be changed. These conditions will be changed accordingly based on the organization, sorry, based on the division and unit level. Even the same bank, so based on the country wise, it is changing. So these kind of the conditions or these kind of the rules will be applying through the PRPC. And these rules are often expressed in conversation, written text, and software. Okay, as if then statements. So in older days, okay, as I said that if you take any other languages like C, C++, and again .NET or Java, these conditions will be applying in if-then statements. So if the loan application does not have a sufficient credit history, then pull a report from the debit bureau. So like that, okay, so we'll be applying the condition. So to, if any person takes the loan, to approve or reject, we will be checking the credit history. And the rules management solutions use a similar intuitive and readable syntax to specify and change rules in decisioning applications. Okay, so these business users can therefore change how an application operates immediately and without requiring IT help, just by modifying or replacing the rules. Okay, so this rules management means, for example, I have implemented a condition like, okay, to open the savings account, the age should be minimum 18. And sometimes we will be saying that in the savings account, minimum balance should be 10,000. But the Indian government has changed. Okay, the RBI might be changed the condition like, okay, they need not maintain minimum 10,000, they can maintain 5,000 also, that is fine, you should not do any charges. So once when I'm implementing the application, I made a condition like savings account minimum balance should be 10,000. But later, based on the RBI guidelines, the condition, we need to reduce it. From 10,000, we need to reduce it to 5,000. So in that case, what we have to do, the bank has to come to the developers to change this condition. Why? Because initially I have given that if savings account balance is less than 10,000, charges should be around 100 rupees per month. Okay, now I need to update it. So that means the bank has to come to the developers. So instead of coming for these small things also every time to the developer, what we can do is we can give some permission to some people in the organization, in the bank, like manager. Okay, so in the banks, for few people we will be giving the access, okay, to modify. Only those people can make the changes. So that rules management can be done by few people. Okay, so this kind of the conditions also for the enabling, for modifying, we will be giving the access to few people. That kind of the rules management also we can done in the PRPC. Okay, so these rules will be maintained through the business rules engine, a software system that manages business rules, separates the business rules from the application code. As I said earlier, so the user interface development will be separated from the business rules. As I already told you, all these conditions we can say one rule, one business rule. Okay, that will be changed based on the organization, from organization to organization. So we can make it separate. What is the purpose of this making it separate? Why? Because if there is any issue, if there is any change in the business rule, as I said that savings account minimum balance should be 10,000. Okay, from that one, if you want to change it to the 5,000, we can go to only that particular rule and again we can modify the condition. Okay, you need not modify the complete application. Okay, you need not deploy the complete application into the production. Okay, so we can make the changes in the dev environment only on that particular rule and we can move it to the production environment. So that if you take it in the older days, .NET or Java, what happens, you know, so whenever you make any change, the complete application again you need to move to the higher environment. So now not like that. Only the changes which you wanted to make, you can do it here. Okay, so friends, how is going? Are you able to understand? Otherwise, do you have any queries? Pratik or Jagadish or anyone? Do you have any queries or it's fine? Can I go ahead? Are you there on the call?
Yes, this is fine, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So are you going to explain these details like about PRPC, or could you please explain us about the actual topics, concepts as a demo?
That means starting the login into the portal
Yeah,
and
no. That all actually I have an idea about that, but any of the core topics so that we'll get an idea in the demo itself, how will be the explanation in the future.
yeah, the futures I'm telling, right? So like, okay, why we have to go to the PRPC and
Yeah. So that is about PRPC, but things like any other topics like what is case management kind of thing. So what? So any at least one topic. So will give us an idea about how will be the explanation.
yeah, that actually I thought of covering in the coming classes. Yeah, now as you also say, the end of this session I can cover. Why? Because other people are also there, right? They will be new to PRPC. So I'll be
Mm.
covering all. And at the end, yeah, I can tell you, I can take few topics and I can explain, okay, what are the purposes of those topics and all like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So these DRE engines are mainly two types, inference engine and reactive engine. So what you mean by inference engine, what you mean by reactive? So in general also, inference means there is no human intervention. Okay, reactive means there will be the human intervention. So to perform some things, okay, we need not have any human intervention. So the process can be done automatically. So it derives the conclusion based on the knowledge base. That means based on the existing functionality which we implemented in PRPC, this can be taken the decision automatically. So answers the questions when a user or application submits them. So should this customer be allowed a mortgage? So when somebody applies for the loan, so it is going to be taking the business rules from the PRPC and performing automatically by approving or rejecting. So that is the inference. And reactive means, so sometimes the application need to be reviewed by the bank employee manually. Okay, so it detects and reacts to patterns of events occurring. So it performs an action automatically when a certain rule is violated. Okay, so like alerts a manager when certain items are out of stock. Okay, so this reactive and inference like this, so it will be there. As I said that, okay, so in the supermarket, so when the quantity is reaching less than 10, so this is going to be reactive automatically. It is going to react it. And this business rules engine will not have any user interface. So this BRE is mainly for maintaining the rules itself. And BPM. So what we mean by BPM? So PRPC is the combination of BRE plus BPM, Business Rules Process Management System. So a software which allows for the direct execution of business processes. So this is the one by which we are going to implementing the process flow. So in the flow, we are going to specify the process is going to start and then the customer ID creation like that. Okay, customer has to enter some details, his personal details, and later it is going to be approving. So that complete steps we are going to specify in the process flow that can be achieved through the process flow that is called the BPMS. So it removes the costly and time intensive development of process specific software. Okay, so as we are going to do everything through flow and it is going to be reduce the time for development of all these things. And it allows the full business process to be defined. Can invoke external services to perform business operations. So it is going to execute the business rules which we implemented, and it can send the messages to human workers requesting they perform the certain task. So like it can send the email also to the users like your account has been created, otherwise your application has been rejected. Okay, so like this we can it can perform it can send some messages and it can call the business rules engine to make automated decisions. even to take the automated decisions, this BPM is going to be called the BRE. So in the BRE, all the business rules which are available, that is going to be executed. And it provides a process-driven user interface. Okay, so even the user interface process-driven means what? So first, which screen it has to be displayed, and later based on the decision, it will go to the second screen. So if the leave request is approved, how it will go? If the leave request is rejected, to which user interface screen it will go? So like this, everything will be specified in the BPM. So this business rules engine, okay, as I mentioned, it separates the business logic from the mission critical applications and enables the enterprise to capture, manage, and execute the business. So policies and practices. So it provides an inference engine to perform dynamic business decision making. Okay, so it is going to provide an inference engine to perform dynamic business decision making, as I already discussed. So inference and reactive. So inference means automatically it will take the decision. Reactive engine means using the declarative rules that are used only when underlying data changes. So this combination of rules, types, and the processing approaches provides rapid time to production and increased ROI. So because of these features, the application development time it is taking very less. And if you want to develop any bank application by using .NET and Java, if it takes 1 year, and the same application you can develop through PRPC in just 3 months. Okay, so that means you are going to be reducing 9 months time. So which is going to be time is going to taking very less here. So rapid time to production. So to production we can move it to very fast. And this business rules and the process integration, how exactly it is going to be integrating. Okay, so it provides an integrated development environment. Okay, so it is going to be provided integrated development environment. If you see this diagram, Pega rules will be there. On top of the Pega rules, process commander will be there. So PRPC means like this, Pega rules process commander, and on top of that, users or developers or else systems which are going to be interacting like this. It provides test and production environments. So it alleviates the expense and resources associated with maintaining separate business process and rules databases. Okay, it provides and the user interface, test, and production environments. Okay, so like this it is going to be implemented. So it is going to lessen the time for development of all these things. And the smart BPM suite. So the suite, how exactly it will be there? Okay, so on top of the Pega rules process commander, and on top of this process commander, we will be having a number of the tools also. Okay, it is going to help the business plan, build and manage process. By using all these tools, okay, even it is going to reduce the time for development. How exactly your development time reducing means? Okay, here if you see, process simulators will be there, case management will be there, portal integration will be there. Okay, content management integration, okay, enterprise integration, process analyzer. So all these tools, okay, by using, it is going to reduce the time for development. And again, on top of that, we will be having so many solution frameworks. Okay, what I mean by solution frameworks? Okay, that means this PRPC, even they went still some step forwarded and they created some of the frameworks. That means for the banking applications, they have given some template application. Okay, that means instead of specifying the company name like ICICI Bank, they developed one application for the ICICI Bank. Okay, so that means it will be having some default functionality in that. It will be having a lot of default functionality in that. So in that default functionality, so they will be giving the functionality like for creating the new customer account. So it will be having some functionality. We just need to modify that company name from ICICI Bank to HDFC. So the same features which they implemented, okay, some model applications which they implemented, that we can reuse and we can do some small changes. So they will be creating like, okay, so in the savings account, the minimum balance should be 20,000. Okay, when you are implementing the application for ICICI Bank, if they say that, okay, the minimum balance should be 10,000. So just that condition will be modifying. So solution frameworks means there are already some predefined functionality which they implemented, and that we can reuse based on our need. So by making some small changes that can be done. So these solution frameworks they implemented for financial services and like retail banking, wholesale banking, card services, capital marketing, lending, and even for the healthcare, payer, provider, government, for the manufacturing, government, retail, insurance. So like that, based on the industry specific, they have implemented some solution framework. So even by using those solution frameworks, so the development time is still reducing, and the number of people who is going to be developing the application also will be reduced. Okay, so the infrastructure which we will be using also will be reduced. So instead of using by 10 developers, 10 laptops, okay, only 2 developers with 2 laptops they can work. So all these things, it's having n number of the default functionalities in this. And here flow. So what I mean by flow, the process through which a unit of work moves until it is resolved. As I already told you, flow means so some task which will be begin and which will be having end, and in between some functionality will be there. Okay, so a vacation request we can take it as a one flow, and a request for an insurance quote also we can take it as a one flow. And there are n number of the BPM tools available, okay, in the market. Lombard, Oracle BPM, Savian, Appian, JBPM, TIBCO, Informatica, like that. Okay, they are the competitors, but PRPC is the best one, okay, which is using by the n number of the organizations comparative to any other BPM tool. Okay, why we are using, why the companies are using Pega PRPC when we are having those many number of the competitors? Means, as I said, that the development time for implementing the application will be very lesser, and it is more user friendly, and it is going to be upgraded continuously from one version to another version by adding n number of the features, and they are having n number of the default frameworks also. Okay, so the PRPC, Pega PRPC will be having 6 hours Pega work automation. Okay, mainly 6 hours will be there. So what are those 6 hours? When you are implementing any application, it will follow these 6 hours: receiving, routing, reporting, researching, responding, and resolving. Okay, so first the task will be receiving. So accepting and capturing the essential data, describing work from multiple sources in multiple media and formats. Okay, from keyboards, okay, from scanners and external systems. It may receive the data from in the form of any ways. Okay, from the keyboards means the user is entering the data. From scanners means we are going to be scanning some papers, okay, which will be containing some customer details also. So from the scanners, it is going to be receiving the data. And from the external systems also, sometimes it may be having the data in the external systems like, okay, SQL, Oracle, or somewhere else. Okay, so from those places also it is going to be receiving, and later it is going to be routing to the respected user to perform the action. Okay, what do you mean by routing? So routing to the, for example, after giving the leave request, it is going to be routing to the manager for the approval. If the manager is on leave, okay, still it will go to the senior person for the leave approval. So it is going to be routing based on the persons, okay, to one person to another person, okay, and then reporting. So we will be making the reporting also sometimes. Okay, if you want to take the report, okay, in this month the total business how much we have done. If you want to take the report, you can take it. Okay, in this month how many number of the new customers who opened the account in the Citibank or else ICICI Bank, we can take the report. So likewise, receiving, routing, reporting, and then researching. So researching is nothing but a, okay, so if you want to see that on this particular day how many number of the employees are applied for the leave. So if most of the people are, if it is the seasonal holidays like festival holidays, okay, if it is already one person is applied for the leave, okay, so again if second person applies, so I just wanted to see who all are applied on the same dates. So based on that I can take the decision. So I will be doing some kind of the researching, and then I will be responding, okay, like the leave can be approved or rejected. So that response I can give through the email, fax, or okay, written mail and other means. So that can be respond, and then resolving. So once after the leave got approved, then the case will be resolved. Okay, so that BPM philosophy driving comfort can work to components can be like, okay, first receive. So how, as I said that, okay, the receival of the data can be scan and fax, browser, telephone, or web services. And once after receiving, okay, it will be routing to the specific people. Okay, so based on the employee, okay, to which team he belongs, to that particular team manager, it will be route. So priority, and again cases and folders. And then it is going to be taking the report, product and quality, open database, and research. So we will be doing some kind of the research, and again we will be taking the an action. So we will be, the action can be taken, that can be say it can be respond, and once after responding it can be resolved. So that resolve can be automatic again, otherwise guided processing, otherwise system driven processing. So what are the main advantages of this PRPC? As I said that the main advantages of is development time. Okay, so and the performance also. The performance of the application also, which will be very faster if you compare with any other .NET or Java application. And the security. So what is the security? So only the respective users can access the respective application. Okay, some part of the people who belongs to Hyderabad region should be able to access the Hyderabad regional information. So that kind of the security also we can apply. And the maintenance cost also very lesser if you compare with the any other application. And then the database setup. So what is the database setup? So the information, once the customer enters, his personal information will be saving into one of the database. So that database setup also will be very lesser if you take with the PRPC. And then the web service. Okay, so by using the web service we can interact to the external systems also. Okay, the information which is available in the external system like SQL server, otherwise which is available in the Oracle, that can be retrieved through the web service. So eliminate the burden of coding in traditional languages. So the development time will be very less. As I said earlier itself, development time will be lesser. So the burden of coding will be lesser. Why? Because even you will be having a number of the default Pega PRPC frameworks. So the framework contains some default functionality. And then the business process modeling in the form of flows. So it will be in the form of flows. And easy debugging. Even if you face any challenges, any issues, so the debugging will be very easy. And the better change management techniques. Okay, even okay, as I said earlier, though the initial minimum balance is 20,000 and later it is 10,000. So these kind of the change requests also can be done very easily. So because of these all are the advantages, PRPC is more popular. And this PRPC application is built in Java. Okay, so this application, even though it is developed through Java, okay, it is totally user interface will be user friendly, and it uses XML data structure and it runs on leading J2EE application servers. So this PRPC will be using the WebSphere, WebLogic or Tomcat. We need to use any of these application server. Okay, but when you are installing the PRPC, we should have any one of these three application servers. Okay, internally the PRPC will be running on this application server. Then the architecture supports established and emerging standards for transport and formatting of data. Okay, so this architecture supports by using any of the standards and formatting of data. So it supports for EJB, SOAP services, okay, COM, CORBA, and MQ services. So by using any of these things, we can use the PRPC. These rules reside in a single relational database instance known as the rule base. So when you are implementing anything, it is going to create one rule. Okay, what is that rule? As I said that, okay, business rules will be there. So when you implement any condition, so that rules will be storing in the relational database, that is called a rule base. So where exactly your PRPC data is storing is called a rule base. And it open database architecture allows Microsoft SQL Server or Oracle to support the rule base. So it will uses the SQL Server or Oracle to support the rule base. So your business rules will be storing in the Oracle, otherwise SQL Server, and it can be integrated to separate relational databases, which that is Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, or IBM too. So it can be using anyone, and it provides a single integrated thin client environment for building, testing, and using the applications. And it can be using the multiple engines running on distributed systems. okay, can share the processing load of an application providing scalability. Okay, it also supports the distributed system. So distributed systems means, so if you are having only one server for the entire world, it may be taking lot of time to load the page. So what it can do, we can create one server for India, one server for different country, like that. Okay, and even sometimes if you are having more number of the customers, so to load the data, to access the data from one server which is available in Mumbai, it may take more time. So what we can do, again, we can distribute it like that. Okay, we can distribute the burden on the application, like, okay, by having different servers for different states. So one server for Telangana in Hyderabad and one server for Andhra Pradesh in Vizag. Okay, like that we can have n number of the servers. So we can distribute the load between multiple divisions, multiple units, like that. Even if you are having burden on the Hyderabad server, for each and every city, we can have different servers.
So could you please explain second point from architecture?
Yeah, architecture supports established and emerging standards for transport and formatting the data. So means we have different people. Now you see here, you know Telugu, I know English. Okay, and other person may be knowing Hindi. But if you want to communicate with these people, okay, if these three people want to communicate, there should be some common language. Okay, so like in India, Hindi is like a, okay, so national language, so by which most of the people can understand. And sometimes now English also one of the common language between the people who can speak like that. Okay, in Tamil Nadu, okay, Tamil is the language most of the people using, but we don't know the Tamil. So then how can we interact with each other? So there should be some common language, that is like a English. Most of the people in Tamil Nadu uses either Tamil, otherwise English. But English is used by most of the people in India. Okay, so to communicate from one person to another person, in the same way here, what we can do in the system, okay, in the English, even though you are giving, the system cannot understand the English. So the system can only understand its own language, that is the binary language. Okay, so that kind of the language process, okay, everything can be done, okay, here through different languages. Here soap is there. Soap, how exactly we will be using the soap to interact with the external databases. As I said that, okay, SQL Server, otherwise Oracle, okay, Oracle. Okay, so we can use some common languages also. So here SOAP is the language. Okay, so simple object access protocol. Okay, so through this SOAP protocol, okay, we can interact with the different systems. So like it supports many languages. Okay, so MQ series also one of the way to communicate with the other systems. Okay, interfacing with external systems that embrace these technologies. Okay, from one technology to another technology, if you want to use, there are some common languages are there. Okay, those languages supported by the Pega PRPC, by which we can interact with the external systems.
And like you mentioned, if the load is, I mean, if there is load on a specific server, then load get distributed. So is there any specific number, like how much data we can put on a specific database?
Nothing like that. So it depends, like, okay, again, the hardware configuration which it has. Okay, so if you are having 1 TB, it may be having something like that. But this and all will be taken by the load balancer. So there is something called load balancer, which is going to be routing the request from one server to another server. So if anybody raises a request, okay, to see the to log in into the application, so this load balancer is going to be checking which is the nearest server, and it will be routing it to the nearest server. So if when I am accessing from Hyderabad, it will be routing it to the Hyderabad server. Okay, if someone accessing from Vizag, okay, it will be routing it to the Vizag server. Okay, sometimes in Hyderabad, more number of the users are accessing, so it is taking more time to load the page. So in that case, it will be routing in the same request, okay, to the Vizag server. Why? Because in the Vizag only one person is there, or else less number of the operators are accessing the server. So as it is having more load on the Hyderabad server, it will be routing the request to the Vizag server. So these all are the kind of the load balancers will be taken care, and that load balancing also can be done through this PRPC. That management also can be done through this PRPC. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So as I said that, okay, PRPC also supports various frameworks. Okay, like CPM, Customer Process Management, SI, Smart Investigate, SD, Smart Dispute for the insurance, for the PMO, for the healthcare. So it is having some predefined model applications are there. Okay, so when you are implementing the application for the uh, insurance, okay, like ICICI, okay, general insurance is there. So in that case, we can use the insurance framework, and by modifying the insurance framework, which is having some model application, okay, we can reuse it for the ICICI. And if you are implementing any application for the banking, like HDFC Bank, we can use Smart Investigate or Smart Dispute. Okay, Smart Investigate means, okay, if you raise any dispute, okay, for example, there is one transaction which is 1000 which is not done by me, so you will be raising a complaint to the bank. In that case, so we will be using Smart Investigate and Smart Dispute. So what is this dispute? So they will be doing some kind of the investigation. Okay, sometimes I did the transaction but I forgot it. Okay, so the transaction which I made in the DMart may be not having with the name of the DMart itself. Okay, they may be having some kind of the different name for the organization. So in the transaction, it will shows that organization name. Okay, some Rama inventory. So in that case, they'll be saying that you did a transaction on the Rama inventory, but you actually you did a transaction in the DMart, but here it is the transaction shows as a Rama inventory. Then you will be recollecting, yeah, yeah, I have done a transaction on the DMart. Yes, okay, even though the name says different, the transaction which is done by me is correct. Okay, then you can close the ticket. Otherwise, sometimes some mistransaction may be done by some other uh, people. So in that case, they will be raising a dispute. Yeah, even though they said that okay, it is a Rama inventory, so still I have not done that transaction. Then you will be raising the dispute. So this kind of the frameworks will be there which can be used, and CPM. So whenever you call to the bank, okay, and when you are interacting with the bank, they will be asking for some verification. So that can be done by the CPM, Customer Process Management. Okay, so like that, okay, various frameworks will be there which we can reuse it. And this complete architecture, if you take it, will be like this. So first, if you buy any laptop, you will be having the operating system. That operating system can be Windows, like Unix or Linux. And then on top of that, database will be there, SQL, Oracle or DB2, otherwise any other. Okay, and on top of it, it will be having the development kit. Okay, Java, JDK, and on top of that, Java application server will be there. As I said that. Okay, so WebSphere, WebLogic, JBoss, or Apache Tomcat. So on top of this app server, the Pega framework will be there. On top of the framework, again, you will be implementing your application. Okay, so this is the complete architecture, how exactly it is going to be interacting. So this is the must and should, okay, which will be having. Okay, here one can be optional. Okay, what
Hello.
Can anybody hear?
No, I'm not able to hear him.
Yeah, same here. Hello? Jagdish?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
Pratik. So I
Yeah.
think there's an issue with this network. I
Yes,
dropped off
actually,
for this.
I dropped a text and I tried reaching him, but he's not answering calls as well.
Oh, okay.
So you're experienced in IT or
Yeah,
you're a fresher?
yes, I'm experienced. I have a 5+ years of experience in IT and 1.5 year experience in Pega Systems itself. I work for Pega Systems.
Oh, okay.
So right now I moved to another company called S Technologies. So where I started my career as a Pega developer. So I'm looking for overall knowledge on the Pega platform. That's why I joined the course.
Okay. So you must have been knowing everything, like what he's teaching right now.
Yeah. That's why I was just checking about how good is easy technical at that. So that's where we'll get to know. That is which is important actually.
So what do you think? Because I'm from a complete non-technical background, man.
According to me, these are all anybody can explain what is Pega, what is what is BPM, etc. But that actual technical details they must be good at. So there's a lot of technical stuff in Pega. Though it is a low-code platform, it's completely different. So one
Mhm.
must be good at all those technical details for explaining actually in terms of examples and all.
Okay, he just called. Let me wait.
Yeah, okay. Uh, Pratik, did you answer the call?
Yes, actually, he kept my call on hold.
Okay.
Yeah. Jagdish,
Yeah.
like because you are a bit more experienced, like than us, so j-
Hmm.
just ask, couple of technical questions. Yeah.
I just asked him to explain some technical stuff, but I see he's going through all the, what is BPM kind of thing. So let me just ask him some technical details as well to explain, based
Mm-hmm.
on which I can take a decision how properly he's explaining all the details.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because I don't have any experience, so everything is new for me. So that's
Yeah.
why, like I'm not able to make a call.
Mhm. That's fine, but yeah, no, you're non-tech, right? From which background you are?
I'm from recruitment.
Oh, okay. So you don't have any.
This conference will now be recorded.
And you will be having the development kit, that is the Java JDK. Okay, you should install the Java also. Okay, and on top of that, you should have the Java app server. Okay, the app server, this can be either WebSphere, WebLogic, JBoss, or Tomcat. Okay, Tomcat is the free one. Okay, free app server. So this will be used by the most of the people. And on top of that, you will be having the Pega framework. Okay, so Pega framework is not the mandatory one. If you have the Pega framework, so on top of that, again, you can make the changes based on the your company needs. Okay, as I said that if you take the banking domain, okay, so for one of the bank application, they will be creating an application and that application will be given to us. So we will be just modifying that company name. And again, if there are any company specific conditions are there, then we will be updating. So like that, the framework, Pega framework will be having some model applications which we can reuse for our client needs. And if you don't want to reuse that, only this Pega framework will not be there. Okay, so we will be creating from scratch. The application will be created from scratch. So this is the one. Okay, but these four are mandatory. And when you install Pega Personal Edition, okay, on top of the operating system, by default, it is going to be creating the database development kit and the Java app server as well, and the Pega software also it will be creating automatically. So you need not install separately this database and this development kit and again the Java app server. So everything is by default. Okay, it will be run. So just one Pega Personal Edition.exe file will be there. So if you execute that exe file, by default it will be creating these three. And if you want to have the framework, so you need to purchase the framework separately from the Pega PRPC, and then you can make the changes accordingly. So most of the companies will be creating from scratch to instead of buying the framework. Okay, but if it meets their requirement that any software, okay, then they will be buying it. And this is the system architecture like the previous one only. So this will be the workstation will be there. That means where the end user will be accessing, that the end user can access the Pega application by using any browser. That can be Internet Explorer, Chrome, or Mozilla Firefox, or anything else. So by using any of the browser, he will be connecting to the Pega PRPC server. This Pega PRPC server through JDBC will be connecting to the database. So this is the MS SQL server or Oracle, otherwise IBM DB2, okay, will be there. So where exactly the rule base will be there. So as I already told you, what you mean by rule base? Rule base means the database. Okay, so in SQL server, the database will be there, right? In SQL server, the database will be created. In the database, we will be creating the tables. In the tables, the information which we will be entering will be saved here. Okay, so that tables or else in the database on which our Pega PRPC information is storing is called a rule base. So whenever you write any business logic, so whenever you create any condition, for that condition it is going to create one rule. That rule will be saved into the rule base. So when you run an application, it will connect to the rule base and it will be checking the condition, what exactly the condition has been written. So mainly there are three certifications available in Pega: CSA, Certified System Architect; CSSA, CSSA, Certified Senior System Architect; and CLSA, Certified Lead System Architect. Okay, so as a fresher, you will be going with the CSA first, and when based on your experience, you will be going for the CSSA and again CLSA. Okay, so lead system architect, CLSA means lead system architect who is going to designing your application. So you will be having the separate courses also for CLSA in pegapdm.com. Okay, by going through those courses, so you can you will be getting an experience like, okay, from scratch when you are building an application. So what are the hardware configurations you need to be taken, and what are the regions where exactly this application need to be implemented. So everything will be learned from that CLSA course. So you will be creating the application from yourself. As a CLSA, you will be designing the application yourself. Okay, so like that, these are the three certifications available in Pega. And when the Pega is started initially, that the version has started is 3.4. Okay, so in the 3.4, as I said, it was purely implementing the business rules. Okay, only business rules. It was not having any case management. It was not having any flows or nothing was there. So only business rules we will be implementing, and that business rules can be accessed by either the Java or .NET application. Okay, and then those conditions will be applied. Okay, later they started with 4.1, 5.1, 5.2, 6.1. So like that, not only this, it has n number of the versions also: 5.3, 5.4, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, 7.1, 7.2. Okay, the current version is the 8.5. You would be asking why sometimes the second number is increasing, and sometimes the first number is increasing. 5.1, 5.2, 6.1, 6.2. So why it is increasing the 1, 2, or sometimes the 6, 7, 8 like that? Means when it is having 5.1 and 5.2, there are minor changes from one application version to another PRPC version. Okay, if it is 6.1, 6.2, there are few changes. But if you compare to the 5.2 and 6.1, there is like a major difference in the Pega PRPC features. Okay, in the same way, 7.1 and 7.2, and 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, 8.5. Okay, from 8.1 onwards, there are many minor changes are there from one version to another version. But from 7.1 to 8.1, there are huge difference between the features of the Pega PRPC. So currently we will be learning the 8.5 version. So these are the versions available. And this is the main work life cycle management, so which we already discussed that in the 6 R's. So receive, that is like a create work. So whenever you send the mail, otherwise whenever you call to the customer care representative, so that is called the create work receive. And then the process work, so route, report, research, and again respond. So this is the cycle which will be going continuously until unless it comes to one final decision. Once the final decision has been made, that is the resolve. So this, if you take in the leave request approval, so when you apply for the leave, that is like a receive. Okay, then it will be routed to the respective manager. So we may be having n number of the departments, sales department, and again, okay, so payroll department, and again development department, like that. N number of the departments will be there. Each and every department will be having its own manager, its own lead will be there. Okay, so from the sales department, if anybody sends a leave request, it will be routing to the sales department manager. So routing will be the decided in the routing part. Okay, the manager will be decided in the routing part. Okay, after routing, he will be taking the report. So on this particular date, how many number of the employees are going on leave? Okay, so if more number of the people are going on leave, for the initial people I already approved. So for the later people I cannot approve. I will be rejecting the leave request. So like that, by taking the report, I can see to whom should I approve, to whom should I reject. So that research I can done, and then I can respond accordingly. So once you respond accordingly, that is going to be resolved it. Okay, so that is like a receive, route, report, respond, and research and resolve. So this is the total work life cycle will be there based on 6 hours. So that's all guys about today's session. As someone asked initially, what do you mean by case management? So the case management is nothing but, okay, so when it is moving from one work life cycle to another life cycle, so I'll be making it as a one stage. For example, once when you apply for the loan request for the home loan, I applied. So applying for the home loan is one stage, and once after applying the home loan, that will be verified. So his CIBIL score will be checked, and then his previous past history of the transactions will be checked, and his current salary will be verified. So based on the salary, whether can I offer the loan amount which I request. For example, I applied for the home loan of 50 lakhs, but my salary is only 10,000. So the 10,000 person, okay, the EMI for the 50 lakhs would be around 50,000. He cannot pay that much. So that and all can be decided here. So that can be done through the case management.
Do you share like the download link for Pega so that we can
Yes,
install it right away?
yeah, definitely, Pratik, I can share it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else? Anyone? Any doubts?
Uh, Sir, could you please show us the syllabus that you are going to cover actually?
Yeah, I shared with Akshara. Maybe she can give it to you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Are
So what?
you going to explain the course in the aspect of CSA or CSSA both? completing
Yeah,
the
I'll
both?
be covering both of them, CSC and CSCC, both of them.
So it means you'll be covering Pega mashups and all, merging and branching, reporting, etc., etc. All these will be covered, right?
Yeah, exactly. Merging and branching I will be covering. Okay,
So
mashup I can
actually,
one example.
yeah, yes, please. So right, mashup is also an important topic for us, for the Pega mashups. I'm just checking whether it will be covered or not.
Yeah, mashup also, yeah, I can be covering. So these all are some of the advanced topics only. Okay, but
Hmm.
based on team needs, I can show them as well. Okay, but in general, these topics will not be there in the course actually. Okay, but I will be covering if you people want it.
Okay, okay. So, sir, could you please let us know if you how many experience do you have in Pega?
Sure, definitely. So I started my career in 2006. Okay, in Virtusa, and
Oh,
only
14, 14, right?
exactly. Total 14 years of experience is on Pega only. So I'm there
Okay,
from the first version of the Pega, that is from 4.1 itself I have. I don't think
okay,
that
okay.
the other trainer is working from 4.1 version.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Okay, okay, sir. Fine.
Anything else, any doubts or queries?
Uh, Is it 45 days course, sir, or else?
No, it may go 2 months, why? Because yeah, I'll be covering most of the topics, so it may not be
Yeah.
possible. But
Okay. Okay. So
no,
when you will be taking the timings?
yeah, most probably can we go ahead with the 7 to 8 itself?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure. 7 to 8. That's okay.
okay, yeah, fine then. But most probably I'll be starting from April 5th, from next Monday. Okay, so
Mhm.
from
Okay.
then onwards, it will be going ahead. Okay,
So every day 1 hour, right? 7 to 8,
yeah,
Monday to
1 hour.
Friday.
Okay, yeah, sometimes it may go like this, another 30 minutes extra.
Yeah, sure, sure. So I mean, because yeah, I mean, I'm completely, fresh. So could you just share the complete syllabus so that I mean, Jagdish is having a couple of experience. So if he's having any questions, so every question will get answered
Yeah,
regarding the
yeah,
syllabus.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
I will share the complete course details, and this will be somewhat helpful for you, Pratik. And this is having some experience. Maybe what are the queries he
Yes.
asked that will be helpful for you.
Yes, sir, because I'm completely new. So whatever you taught today, like everything was complete new for me.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So by considering as a layman only, I will be teaching Pratik. Okay, so as a
Okay.
fresher, like that only I will be teaching. So I hope today whatever I taught you are able to understand and you get some
Yes, sir,
idea.
but I have couple of basic questions, like what is the exact difference between BPM and a CRM, and like PRPC, what exactly, it means, like, is that kind of a language that we use to run Pega? And the third question was how we will manage or create the business rules. These are the three questions like what I have from today's session.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So business rules means as I already told you, each and every condition is a one business rule. Any condition is a one
Mhm.
business. Okay, we will be creating in the form of rule in Pega. Okay, and BPM
Okay.
means business process management. As I said that these all are the business rules. Otherwise, the user interface which you are creating. Okay, otherwise moving from one stage to another stage. Okay, like loan application, if you take applying to the loan is a one stage, and later okay reviewing your loan application is a one more stage. So these stages where you can specify means through the BPM. Okay, that means which is the starting stage, which is the next stage, which is the ending stage. In between, what all are the validations you wanted to apply. So that validations means this business rule. So that everything you are going to be putting in the form of a flow that can be done through the BPM. Okay, and the CRM.
Okay.
CRM is like a that is different framework. Okay, that functionality also implemented in Pega only by Pega systems. Okay, but that is CRM, otherwise Smart Investigate, otherwise Smart Dispute. These all are some small applications which are built by Pega, which we can reuse for our need.
Okay.
I'm getting my point.
Mm-hmm.
So CRM is a one application already built by Pega or reusing by the Pega developers.
Okay.
Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
here there are n number of the default frameworks are there. As I said, that Smart Investigate, Smart Dispute, that can be used for bank purpose. Okay, for insurance also they have one more framework. Okay, but this CRM is like a common framework which can be used by many number of the people.
Okay.
Even in this CRM can be used in any domain. Why? Because customer care support should be available even for the insurance domain. Otherwise, it should be available for the banking domain. Why? Because everybody will be calling to the customer care and asking for some queries. So that is the reason why the CRM can be used by any of these people, any of these domains.
Correct.
Yeah. Still any questions? Any other queries?
Sir, in the aspect of integration, will you cover both Connect REST and Connect SOAP?
Yeah, Connect REST and Connect SOAP, and that too Connect service and the service also. Okay, why?
Okay,
Because
okay, fine.
if you take any service, you will be having two things. Okay, connector, otherwise receiver. That receiver
Service.
is like service. Okay, so both will be covered. I will be telling you how to create both of them in SOAP service.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any questions. I'm fine with the course and syllabus.
Okay, thank you, Jagadish. Okay, thanks to all.
Yeah.
See you again. Okay, Pratik, I will share you that course details to you again. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Share to all of us, sir.
Okay, great. Sure, sure, I will do
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks to all. Bye bye.
Okay, sir. Bye.